Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of VGU Talks, and let's talk games. I'm Don, the expert from VideoGamesUncovered.com, and it's E3 2016! Woo! So we're off to a good start with all the press conferences getting showing off all the games we are hyped for. And today we're going to be starting it all off with the EA press conference, which this year actually started on the Sunday instead of a Monday, or even after a major event like Microsoft or Sony's conference. Did you steal the show? In my opinion, not really, but let's break it down. First things first, it was a new style of presenting for the EA show this time around. It gives you a taste of the games that they're going to be showing off, and then after the initial show you're going to have live streams, you're going to have individual interviews with developers and potential YouTube personalities going over what the game's going to be bringing into the table, and then on top of that, the obvious hype. It's an okay idea, but the whole point of the show is for people who aren't interested in seeing played through live streams of your new game, just kind of want to see new stuff. And I saw a prominent lack of new stuff out of this entire conference. Let's carry on. Another thing they did with this show as well is that they had a via satellite link from LA to London, which I thought was really interesting. You had two areas covered at the same time, two shows running back to back with one another, linked via satellite. It was a pretty good idea and it played off really well. I think the only bad part about it was that for the longest time, the audio on the London side was very weird. Like, I've been listening to the show with a headset on, and the audio just kept flicking between the left and right side and just didn't seem optimized that well. They did seem to fix it away into the show, however, which is great. They also said that after this initial show, they were going to have an hour-long Battlefield 1 live stream showcasing some more gameplay, including a full-on 64-person match. And that's pretty good. It was actually a pretty good live stream as well. I won't be talking about it here, but if you do want to check it out, it is on YouTube for you guys to watch. So that was the initial talking point of the conference. Now let's talk about the game, shall we? The big reason why we're here. Starting off big with Titanfall 2's multiplayer trailer. A ton of action, grappling hooks, new abilities like teleportation, new grenades like a gravity grenade that sucks people in, Titans with freaking laser beams like Fulgor style chest lasers. Titans now seem to have proper full-on CQC as well as the obvious new swords. And I have to say, I'm convinced Titanfall 2 looks great. At least the multiplayer side looked great from the initial standpoint. Then they said afterwards, 6 new Titans with unique skills, new customization options, a multiplayer beta which registration is up now for, so if you are interested in it, go and register for that beta coming soon. A single player campaign fully confirmed, which again I'm looking forward to. I just want to see what they are going to do with the world of Titanfall. And the game has a release date of October the 28th on PS4, Xbox One and PC. After revealing that date, however, they did show off a trailer for the single player, which is based around a character known as Jack Cooper, who is now linked with a Titan that used to belong with a friend of his who's now KIA. So it's the whole idea that every person is linked in some way to their Titan, and their Titan seems to have their own AI, which runs separately from the human being. It's not like the human's controlling the Titan. The Titan has his own prerogatives and has 3 major things he has to keep in mind, which is working alongside the pilot, keeping to the mission, and making sure the pilot does not die. And then you see some of the gameplay where you have the pilot and the Titan working together in order to get around certain locations, and obviously the fighting, which looks really insane, and swords, which looked great. The single player looks very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. I'm just hoping it's not going to be a single player that's over in about 2 to 4 hours, and I hope it actually has good depth. Be warned, Doom has set a precedent as to how good an FPS single player can be. I expect this to match it, if not get up one on Doom single player. Then we had Madden 17. Meh, didn't seem like anything new to me. Maybe you who plays Madden 17 will be able to identify new stuff, but I didn't see any new stuff from that little trailer they showed off. That was just there. It was just there. However, they did go on to talk about EA's new approach to esports and competitive multiplayer, bringing in 3 new styles of events, being called Challenger, Premier, and EA Major events. Challenger events are supposed to be user-created tournaments, I'm guessing? So I'm guessing this is like the lower region scene of tournaments, where people will be able to create their own tournaments. It'll be easier for them to live stream them on Twitch and get them hyped up for people to get behind. And that's a good idea. It gives people an incentive to make their own little tourneys, start off for like a friendship level or maybe just a town or city level before you go up to the large scale tournaments, which are known as the Premier events. And these are the ones where you see them all the time on Twitch, the really big scale tourneys, possibly the world qualifier tournaments as well, that you're gonna get hyped behind. And the last one being the EA Major events, which are gonna be their big global scale events, trying to find the best players in the world, battling it out for huge cash prizes that everyone will be able to watch via live streaming platforms. Seems like a great incentive for EA. I'm very much looking forward to what they are going to be doing with esports in the future, and they have shown that the Madden tournament that's currently undergoing will be fully streamed on ESPN, with the finals being on ESPN2. And that's really good. I'm really happy that ESPN has finally grown into the esports market. I know they have been for a while, but it's just nice to have that clarified. After all that, we had Mass Effect Andromeda talking about the game and showing off some new stuff in a really well done behind the scenes trailer. So Mass Effect Andromeda this time around, it's more of an expedition to find a new home, so it's feeling Star Trek style at the moment, which is pretty cool. It's exploration with brand new stuff, so we're talking about new species, new technology, new developments, which planets are going to be the best to settle on, and all that jazz. You are the alien, which I think is the best line out of that entire speech, making you believe that everything is alien to you because you yourself are the alien in this new galaxy. That's crazy. The entire game is in the Frostbite engine as well, and it looks great from the little teasers that we did get. Brand new content of the game will also be revealed later this year in the fall, so I'm pretty much looking forward to what they're going to be showing there. Hopefully a full-on gameplay trailer, cross fingers. And I'm just feeling now, could this be Mass Effect's No Man's Sky? I'm interested. I want to see how this plans out. An awesome thing was revealed, saying the new demos of 20 games will be available on PC, PS4 and Xbox One for people to have fun with over the E3 period. Some really great stuff, including the brand new maps for Star Wars Battlefront and a bunch of other games as well. So if you are interested in trying some out, go in there, give them a try. A brand new incentive that EA also bringing in is this new idea of having in-game challenges, which will make EA donate money to 5 charities that they've said they're going to be specifically supporting. And the other great thing about this is that after the show, they will be donating $1 million to these charities as a way to kickstart this new partnership and this new incentive. And these in-game challenges, from what they were saying, are going to be pretty interesting, like going in the battlefield and, let's say, supporting or rezzing your teammates X amount of times. And little challenges like that. Not quite challenges that will be trophy level or achievement level, but challenges that would keep you wanting to play the game, so that if you complete them, EA would be like, okay, we'll donate X amount of dollars to this charity because of what you've just done. That's pretty good. And now we move on to FIFA 17 with the Frostbite engine for the first time. It does look good in the Frostbite engine, I will admit that. It now has a brand new story mode based around a brand new player to the block known as Alex Hunter, who's vying to that top spot. So he's looking to play for the biggest, latest and greatest teams in the FIFA leagues, including being able to play as a member of the England team come for the World Cup. It gives you the idea that as you go through his story, you'll be able to pick which teams he'll be able to play for as he's climbing up the ladder, kind of inspired by NBA 2K's career mode, which, if anything, is good. I think FIFA needed to climb onto this bandwagon in order to add more longevity to the game and also introduce new players to their game. So this story mode is known as FIFA 17 The Journey. It also teased that FIFA could be coming out in September of this year, which is a pretty good time to bring it out, because you don't want to bring it out in October and November, because those are when the FPS huge pre-Christmas hitters are going to be coming out. But another big thing for FIFA 17 was that Premier League managers will now be in, such as my boy Arsene Wenger of Arsenal. And then they did hype up 3 specific managers, and out of nowhere, who comes on? It's Jose Mourinho, aka the brand new manager of Manchester United. Great to see him. It was a little bit of funny banter, not too crazy, but that was pretty fun to have on. And then afterwards they talked about the upgrades and the improvements they're bringing in, which they pretty much just bring up every single year now. Which, yes, I know it should be credible when we actually see gameplay, but because I didn't see gameplay of them actually showing the differences, I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, you're making it better. Okay, I'm gonna have to take your word for it until I see it. So, fair enough. FIFA 17 looks good, but I don't know if it plays good because we didn't see any gameplay, so there you go. A brand new program from EA, known as EA Originals, will be going live. This is where they're going to be supporting indie developers throughout the process of developing their game, all the way towards marketing, which is a really good idea. But the interesting thing is, 100% of the profits will be going back to these developers. So, apart from bragging rights and being able to feel good about themselves, I don't really understand what EA is getting out of this. If 100% of the profits are going back to the indie devs, is EA just simply doing this as a sign of saying, yo, we can't be the worst games company in the world now, we're actually doing something good, especially with this and the charity stuff? I don't know, it seems a little bit confusing. If anything, maybe they need to go into a bit more detail from what the show said. But they did show off the first game of this new program, being called Faye or Fee. I think there was a bit of confusion with the pronunciation of this while on stage. But this does look pretty interesting. You play as a little fox dude in a brand new world. You don't know much about the world or about you. It's all about the player discovering and finding new locations for themselves. Pretty much feeling like Journey, and how Journey worked for me, which is really nice. The art style looks cool, the game looks nice in general. It might not be my cup of tea, maybe you're more interested into it. It looks great, and I just hope it does really well. Then of course we had which is the Star Wars, look at all the games we're not gonna show today, and that's pretty much what happened. As much as I'm happy that EA do have the Star Wars license and they're getting a bunch of different companies on board, ranging from DICE, Motive, BioWare, Respawn, Visceral, Criterion, and Capital Games, which is a really good lineup, they didn't really show anything new. They didn't. They just hyped up what they have planned, such as they have a new Star Wars Battlefront next year. Why? Why? Do we need more Star Wars? It hasn't even been a year since the first one has been out. Yeah, I already knew the second one was going to come out soon, but saying, oh yeah, it's coming out next year. Why? It's way too soon, at least in my opinion. Give it some more time. Have you really thought about the criticisms we had of the first Battlefront? Really? I'm concerned about this. They have said that it'll bring in new content from the films, however, which could bring in like Rogue One heroes, which would be pretty interesting. So I don't know, I've got to watch that space. You have to convince me pretty hard, because I hated Battlefront. Really hated it. 2018, however, we'll be seeing a visceral Star Wars game featuring an original narrative with brand new characters, which I'm psyched for. I want to see something brand new in this universe. Now the trick is this going to be canon? Because of what the LucasArts basically came out saying about the extended universe in the video games and the comics of the past, which are now no longer canon. Are these going to be the new canon for the new Star Wars? Maybe, maybe not. I've got my fingers crossed on that one, but I hope Visceral comes out really well. And of course, Respawn Entertainment are working on one. It's a third-person action-adventure game with a new narrative also. So that could be a brand new extension onto the universe. Again, I'm interested in it. Didn't see anything about them at all. So we're left to think again. Okay, I'll take your word for it. It's gonna be hype. I guess. I don't know. And they had a behind-the-scenes trailer very similar to how they had the behind-the-scenes trailer for Star Wars Battlefront. I personally didn't think it was that good. I personally thought the Mass Effect Andromeda one was a lot better because they were flicking towards developers talking about the game, showing what they're working on, as well as gameplay. Actual gameplay, which this trailer showed nothing of. It showed concept art for a little bit here and in-engine work for the Visceral game, which does look interesting and makes me think that the game is based around the domination of the First Order, potentially their origins, which would be pretty freaking cool. But basically that entire Star Wars section was, hey guys, we're making Star Wars games. That's it, see you later on this year and next year. Wow, I think there was a good waste of that chunk of the show. But it's okay. It's okay. They redeemed it because they had Battlefield 1 last on the show, which was great. And they had a new trailer showcasing what the story could bring in. Huge air battles versus blimps. And it was pretty cool. They were talking about the game and what it's going to bring in new-wise. And then what do? They bring in the celebrity appearances. Which, okay, I'm going to bring this up. A lot of people have come out on Twitter and other social media sites saying how much they just hate the idea that EA are trying to push celebrities onto their events. Now, here's the thing. I have no problem with celebrities showcased during these events. Heck, they had Jose Mourinho for the FIFA release. I thought that was pretty good. But Jamie Foxx and Zac Efron for Battlefield 1, when they twisted over to him saying, hey guys, how are you doing? Are you hype? They didn't look hype. They didn't feel hype. They just looked like they were there just because I'm a celebrity, I'm being paid to be here. Yay! Clap, let's play some games. Wow. Great job, guys. At least pick some celebrities that look and are genuinely hyped to be there. Those celebrities that love these games, that would love to be there to represent your game. Why just pick two random ones? I have no problem with Jamie Foxx and Zac Efron. They're both great actors. But why are they there? Why are they there? They're not hyped. I don't feel any hype from them. It's a massive what the heck moment. Why? Like, state of your celebrity appearances. But let's move on. Let's talk about Battlefield 1 and what it's bringing to the table. 64-player multiplayer. Destruction returns with improvements. Again, fantastic. Levolutions? Possibly. They did also show something in the trailer after when they were talking about the games and all that jazz. They had a big moment where one of the huge blimps gets shot down, is on fire, is gradually falling down. You see it from the ground angle and from a plane angle, and then it lands, bursts into flames, explodes, and that looks great. I can't wait to see moments like that in the game. Then they talk about dynamic weather and how it can be very unpredictable, changing the scape of the battlefield. So you could start off in a very sunny day, and then it changes to rain, then potentially fog and mist. Crazy times. I want to see proper full-on sandstorms in the desert as well when you're doing the Lawrence of Arabia stuff. It's going to be freaking awesome. And now they're talking about new weapons and new vehicles, which I hope they do have a plethora of, because I thought Battlefield 4's weapon variety was a little bit lackluster, especially in comparison to Battlefield 3's huge library of weapons. But then they talk about ultimate vehicles, blimps, battleship, armored trains? That entire thing looks really good. It looks super good. And I'm interested as to whether they're going to be bringing in game modes where, like, both players are going to be having their own blimps and their own battleships, where you're going to have to fight on the ground and in the air, get towards their battleship, climb inside, sabotage it from the inside, and the first team to blow up their opponent's battleship wins. That would be an awesome game mode. Or the armored train mode being that one team defends the train while the other team attacks the train on horseback. Again, leaning up to some great ideas. I need to see more. And I just need to see more to convince me to get this game. Because again, it did show quite a bit. It showed gameplay, which was great. And they have a full-on 1-hour live stream where you can see gameplay, which again, is great. Go check that out. But they still left you hanging on quite a lot of stuff. But that's how you tease it. You show us stuff, you get us hyped, and then you leave us wanting more. Which Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 did, and none of the other games they showed really did at all, which I thought was a shame. Overall, the EA show, I thought was a show of nothing truly new. Everything they were showing off was stuff we knew about before going into this, which I thought was a complete shame. So there was just nothing original, apart from Fee, which looks great as an indie game, but then it's an independent game, so it's not even one of EA's pushed first-party products. This show in its entirety was just meh. A lot of moments just left me thinking, why? I just don't know what they were possibly thinking about their presentation style, who they had on, what they were showing and all that jazz. It left me wanting more for only 2 games. If I was only hyped for 2 games out of your entire list, and both of them were FPSs, then wow. Just wow. So, needless to say, for EA being the first conference, left it out on a bit of a sour note, but these are only my opinions. What are your thoughts on the EA press conference? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What about those celebrity appearances, huh? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. We'll be covering all the conferences, as I said, throughout E3, as well as giving you some more E3 content on the website, videogamesuncovered.com. Be sure to check that all out. Follow us on Twitter and all that jazz in the description below so that you'll be notified of brand new stuff coming this year at E3. I'm super hyped and I hope you are too. And I'll see you guys next time for another edition of VGU Talks.